Zorn, it's a simple question, but what happened to the offense in the second half?
Oh, gosh. Three and outs did not help, and then we had a procedure penalty. I thought we were running the ball really well. We had a pretty good plan. When we got in the second and long, and then third and long, they softened up, and we had to end up punting the ball. Those were really hard because I think all of us felt frustrated that we had a plan that was kind of capable, but you only get one shot. You don't get there's no check hikes, and especially in the third quarter, that was the difference for us.
How do you think Brandon Silvers looked from week 2 to this week?
Oh, he definitely improved. I know you would even say that. Watching him, we were, I believe, a lot better on third down. Getting sustaining drives in with some third down plays. He managed the game pretty well. I think, when as we worked into that fourth quarter, we had to narrow our ability to kind of spread the ball around in the run game and the passing game, and that hurt us a little bit where he had to sit and try to make plays. But overall, I thought he played a lot better and executed some plays very well, very accurate on a lot of throws. Yes.
Coach Zorn, Jerome Edge, KSVR 91.7 FM. The defense, especially in the first half, was, man, they came. The 2 picks. They were really aggressive. You could tell the coach the quarterback for Dallas. You could tell he seemed really frustrated because they were pressing really hard. But it kind of seems like they found their stride in the second half, and we didn't quite see as much of the dominance.
Yeah.
What do you think it might have been that caused them to kind of figure things out and maybe get their rhythm going and ultimately, unfortunately, get the win?
Yeah, well, they had 9 yards rushing in the first half, and
wow.
they actually were leading the league in rushing coming in. They had 144 yards last week, so we pretty well shut them down in the first half. And I think even in the second half, they had 2 big runs, and that was the difference in the game for them on offense. And I felt like our defense, we called our defense well, and what we're going to do when we see the video is find somebody losing contain. I think we had the point of attack well in hand, and the backs did a wonderful job, their backs, of just seeing it and then going somewhere else, and then us losing contain. Because I just think on a couple plays like that made all the difference in the world to their run game, if you will. Yep. It wasn't like they were coming in and pounding us. It was that their backs did a great job of making an adjustment to that particular play, and escaped. It's much like a running quarterback escaping. When you're in the pocket, a good scrambling quarterback can escape, and I think that's what their backs did.
Jim,
Yes.
4th
Yeah.
and 4, chose to punt, to go for it. The crowd didn't like it. Was there?
Yeah, well, and I had chosen to, I had chosen to go for a 4th and 3, and I thought we had it, and then Brandon got, he just got, his legs got swiped out from under him. And so it's a risk. And I felt like punting the ball away was, pinning them back, and then us having a short. And then we got an interception, if you remember, off of a punt as well, and we didn't do anything with it. That's on, that's on the offensive side. So I felt like those calls, although disappointing to a fan, almost it did help us. It gave us another opportunity. Nobody would expect that interception, right, at that particular time, but we got it, and we had the ball in the plus 30. I think that it's hard to make that decision at that particular time, but I will say we went for it twice on 4th down. We were not successful this week, but the week before and 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago now, we had some success, I should say. There was another point I wanted to, I thought our punter, he averaged 48.7 yards a punt or something like that. You have to look the stat up, but it's something like 48 plus, which was outstanding. I mean, he had an outstanding day. I wish that one ball we could have got before it went in the end zone, but that's one of the reasons you do take, you take that and help yourself, and we did. So I wasn't disappointed in that call. Yes.
Hey, Coach, I think you gave me one of my personally favorite moments of the year. Brandon had an interception. You were very kind. You were very helpful. He said, I think he did something along the lines of, it's not your fault. It's the receiver's got to come back. Can you just talk generally about your philosophy of how you coach up a quarterback after a tough moment?
Yeah. Well, a moment like that, I thought you did a great job because we were trying to, that ball wasn't just going to him. He actually had turned another receiver down and then came back on an 18-yard route. So he had the protection. He did what we were asking him to do. And he had, a quarterback has to make that choice. He's got the ball. It's his responsibility. And yet things happen like that where the QB gets all I saw the pattern, and he was right. You just got to keep coming back down and help that throw, help that decision out. And so I think I want to continue to encourage him to improve and get better, play well. I would say he's going to have a couple plays as well that he would go, God, I wish I would have hit this or hit that or chosen to throw it differently. And I saw a couple out there that I wish we would have seen he would have seen as well. But overall, I thought he was doing a great job making decisions, not just hanging on one guy. And I commend our offensive line in our pass protection today versus a pretty stout defense of giving the quarterback time to throw.
Yeah, that third and six where you worked across the field, was that an exciting moment? Where you worked it was like his fourth read, I believe?
On which
It was a
play?
3rd and 6 late in the game.
Yeah,
Cover 3.
yeah, and you mean the
Yeah,
one
you
that he
worked
brought
across
to the
right
back?
to left and did
Yeah.
that nice hitch.
Yeah, and another one, he worked all the way back and threw to Keenan Reynolds on a curl route, but that route started on the strong side.
Yeah.
So yes, he did that this week, and that's a huge improvement over what we've been working on, and to be positive about it. Those things I'm sure those things are going to continue, and even though when you walk into that room, it's kind of a downer. I think there's a lot of things that we can continue to build and improve on. Yes, sir.
Jim, just kind of on that note, 3 games in, how close are these guys to where you want them to be, and just how would you assess, I guess, their progress?
Well, I think our team really comes to play hard. I'm super impressed with the workmanship that these guys bring, and I'm really impressed with how they hang in there even in dire situations. Nobody complained. Nobody. They were very encouraging, and the fight was in them. I thought we have to execute better. We can't lose contain. We can't have untimely penalties. We're not there yet to overcome those. If we were a dominant team, we could overcome some of those things, and we did a couple times, but not enough. And we'll look at it, we'll learn, and we'll grow from it. Did you have a question?
You answered some of it. I was just gonna say that both teams played really well. I thought today that it wasn't like any big thing, but was there anything that you would change in order to get the win today, or? Yeah,
I would. Our changes, I think our changes come in being able to overcome a penalty or a bad play. That's what we couldn't do on offense. If we get a decent gain, no, it was lost, or we'd get up to the line of scrimmage before the play started. Now it's 5 yards more, and those aren't knockout punches by any means, but we have to, I have to do a better job of getting that next play to, be the right play to help our team, so we don't get in those third down and long situations. We can overcome these penalties. I've got to be better, and I think our team will be better as they execute as well. There's enough there for us all to know what we're capable of, and then execute it. And I think I said this earlier, you only get one shot. You get one try, because somebody was saying, well, call it again. And I was going, why don't we got to do it the first time. You don't get that call it again type of deal when it failed. And, there's 2 or 3 plays in there that, oh my gosh. If you watch the coach's tape on this, you're going to see, ooh, he was wide open, wasn't he? And you didn't get him the ball. And we had the right defense on. You'll see, ooh, but he ran 40 yards because we lost contain. It'll be that kind of a deal, and we're coaching that, but ultimately we have to convince. We have to just get back on the practice field, and then become more disciplined. And it's little things, because you're right. The game was fairly close, minus, in their case, maybe 4 or 5 big plays. How do you throw a football and you get it blocked, and then it goes back into the quarterback's hands, and then it goes down the field? And I heard our defensive coordinator goes, you can't let that guy loose. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, it was thrown, not knocked down, but knocked back into the arms of the quarterback. How are you gonna deal with that? How do you coach that? You don't necessarily have you don't have a play for that, a defensive scheme for that. So you do the best you can. I thought our defense rallied, even though that was pretty, I think Landry would go, wow, never had that happen before. Yes.
Coach, I've never met you in person. My name is Jose Gutierrez, HSN Sports and Cash Radio. I wanted to just thank you for your career in Seattle, all the way through, from
Thank
the
you.
Seahawks, origins of the
Yeah.
Seahawks to now. And I asked Coach Stoops the same question, but I was wondering, at this stage of the league and the stage of players in their beginning to mid of their career, how important is it for you in coaching as a mentor and teacher right now, establishing the foundation for the new XFL?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's extremely important for all of us. I think our whole staff, we have a lot of experience on our staff, and these men who are involved with our players every single day, on the field, off the field, in meetings, and even on the side, just kind of a shot here or there, just talking about life in general, or more serious football. I think it's a dream come true for a lot of these players, because most of these guys, wouldn't get that chance again. And this has been and will continue to be a league of opportunity for these young men. And you think that there's 52 on a team right now, times 8, and then there's another group that'll be coming in who are a practice group right now, will be coming on on different teams. It couldn't be better for this large group of men to continue and live out a dream, maybe get elevated because they finally are getting it. They've been given a chance to practice better, to play better on game day, and all those things are opportunistic. I'm proud to be a part of it myself, and I'm proud of the group that we have assembled here to influence these young men. And we haven't had any kind of mutiny, if you will, by our players. They know they're getting our best efforts, and it's true, it's real, and so they want to win, and I wish that we would be undefeated. I really do, and I hurt for these guys, because they put in a lot of time and a lot of effort, and we'll just keep building. We'll keep building, and I hope the league continues to build and become strong.
Councilman
Yes.
Moore?
Steven Johnson led the team in tackles for the third week in a row, for I guess the first 3 games. He seems to be in on almost every play. What does his leadership mean to this defense?
It's amazing, and it runs, he backs up what he is, what he's all about. He's a team captain, he's our defensive captain, and he prepares very well. And I would say that, if he, he's not even sitting in here, but if he was, he would probably tell you that, as everybody is playing, he's getting tackles because other guys are turning the play back inside towards him, or he's just sudden, he can see it. So his leadership is tremendous, both on the field in his play, and then off the field in his commitment. And he even spoke to the fans a little bit. That puts a lot of pressure on those young men to say the right words to the fan, and get the fan. They don't necessarily have to get the fan fired up, but he's the kind of guy that when he speaks, I know our team listens to. So super mature kid, and I hope we can continue to keep him. He's a solid player.
We'll be in momentarily with Brandon. Last one?
Yeah. Get you just a second. Yeah.
Is it encouraging when you look on film and you see you guys are so close, like all the mistakes are fixable?
Yeah.
Is that encouraging?
Yeah, it's encouraging, and then in a real game, it's super frustrating because and disappointing because of what it means. We have to live with it, right? We have to face it, and once we get into starting the game week for next week, you kind of try to forget the pain of it, and then you get going. And I was fired up coming into this game, and I really was excited about how we were competing, how we were executing, and then we lost a little bit of that edge. Not everybody, just, and including myself. I just wanted to call that right play and not moan over the ones that weren't there, and we couldn't overcome it. So yeah, it's super disappointing, and we'll be back. We got another game in a week.
Yeah, Coach, with having a backup quarterback that's played here in this area is pretty popular. Anytime things aren't going well, you can get a clamoring on social media and with the fans, and you can even hear in the stands sometimes want to make a change at quarterback. Is that something that the team affects you at all, or you have to manage, or you feel that? Or?
No, I haven't really felt that. We've been, what you saw today from Brandon, I think is going to continue and get better. And I think I was looking for a lot of improvement from the week before, and he gave that to us. You didn't see a lot of balls sprayed all over the place, and so I hope that continues. I think we really enjoy the leadership that BJ gives us from a backup position, and I would love to have him involved. That's the hard part about being a quarterback, I think, on a football team. You have to wait, and as BJ may have to play one of these days, but right now he's just got to wait and be ready when he's called upon.
Can I follow that up?
Yeah.
Asking about Casey Williams, that's another popular player. A lot of people are.
Yeah, he's on the active roster. Although I have to deactivate him on game day, but I've been patient with him, and he's been trying to fight to get back into the fold, if you will. But his quad was not responding, so we had a procedure last week in midweek, maybe actually towards the end of the week, where we there was some blood in the quad muscle area. It gets kind of gross, I guess, talking about blood, but we injected some of that blood that was just kind of pooled up there, and he feels a lot better. I'm looking at I'm hoping for improvement this week and see some progress now that we've got some of this stuff to help heal that quad, because it's a nuisance for him. He wants to be out on the field last week, and I can't put him on yet.
All right, thank
All
you,
right.
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.